Mike, what about all these cash advance fees? And actually, I noticed that my cash advance limit is actually less than the limit on my line of credit. How am I supposed to use this thing for velocity banking? Okay, great question. We're going to talk about that in today's training. Hey everyone, it's Mike Adams, and on this channel we empower individuals to achieve freedom through improved financial literacy, business ownership, tips, and training. If you're new to the channel, make sure to click subscribe, click the bell, so that way you get notified on any and all of our future content. So in this particular training, today we're going to be answering the question of what do you do about these cash advance fees on your credit cards, or if you're using your credit card for velocity banking, what's the deal of your your cash advance limit being less than the actual limit on your line? Very, very, very good question. So first and foremost, if you're okay, and this was actually a question that was asked by one of our subscribers. And again, guys, love your feedback, love your questions, especially about velocity banking. Now that we've laid out the strategy, the next layers around that strategy for this channel is really all around your guys' questions around the strategy, around how it works, how to use it, all that good stuff. So keep those questions coming. And so the first thing about this particular question about, what about these cash advance fees? How am I supposed to use this credit card for velocity banking? First things first, okay? We are not using cash advances to do velocity banking. Okay, let me say it one more time. We are not using cash advances to do velocity banking. Okay, most people know that if you have a credit card and you have the ability to do cash advance, that's like pulling cash, like out of like using your debit card at the ATM, pulling cash off your credit card. And if you look in your terms and conditions, chances are there is a higher interest rate on those cash advances versus your normal credit card rate. There may be fees associated with cash advances. So, for all kinds of different factors and reasons, we are not using cash advances to do velocity banking. Okay. Now, how are we using the line of credit to do velocity banking? Okay, if we're not using cash advances, how are we getting cash, quote unquote, to then go ahead and make these chunk payments or make the payments on all of our loans, okay? And so that's kind of the next layer of the question. And so to use your line of credit, okay, there's a couple different ways that you can use your line of credit to pay your loans and make big chunk payments on your mortgage or big student loans, okay? The first way is to use the balance transfer option, okay? And so many credit cards offer, and if you're really wanting to do velocity banking, just know this, not all credit cards are created the same. Every bank is different. Every bank that is issuing a credit card, they all have different features and benefits of each card. So not every credit card can do the same thing as another credit card. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And so if you're gonna do velocity banking, you wanna have a line of credit that offers you balance transfers, okay? And ideally, when you open the line, okay, typically, if you apply for the right kind of card, and again, we have videos about this on this channel. I'll link to one of them below if you wanna see some information about some of the credit cards that I've used for velocity banking that do balance transfers. Somebody asked me if a balance transfer was a loophole in a credit card. And I was like, it's not a loophole. It is simply a feature of some credit cards. And so you want to make sure you have a card that allows for balance transfers. And so either A, the card itself will allow you either in your online account there to make loan payments. Some cards do have that feature. Or B, you utilize the balance transfer checks that either A, they send you when you get the card, or B, that you can call them and request, okay? And once you have those checks in hand, and these checks draw on the line, okay? They're designed for, let's say you're gonna take that check and write it out to a credit card number 2 and pay credit card number 2 and bring that balance over to credit card number 1, right? That's what they want. But you can take that check and write that check out to yourself, okay? Bring it to your bank, cash it, and now you have cash, okay, that came from the line of credit, but it wasn't a cash advance. Okay, through the utilization of the balance transfer checks, you're able to draw cash off the line and it runs as a normal transaction. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So the balance transfer, and again, now that you have the cash, you can take that cash and make all of your loan payments, take the big chunk, make it over to one of your big loans, and essentially bring that over to the line as a normal transaction at the normal interest rate of your card. And again, if you're prepping for this and you know you want to do velocity banking, come into this thing, do the due diligence, find the right line of credit, get yourself zero interest all lined up so that way you're good to go and you can start using the strategy properly. Bear in mind, guys, not everybody is in position day one to start using the strategy. And the second way to do it without incurring a cash advance fee would be to use a service like Plastique. And we are going to create a whole video series about that service, really cool service that allows you to do balance transfer. So if let's say your card doesn't allow for balance transfers and they're not giving you any of those checks, you can use a service like Plastique, which acts kind of as a middleman between your credit card that you're using there and then the vendor that you're wanting to pay, the vendor, the loan company, the mortgage company that you're looking to pay. So Plastique kind of acts as a middleman, allowing you to essentially make that transfer happen, and you pay a 2.5% fee to Plastique. So yes, you do pay a fee to use that service, but still, if you're going to be using velocity banking, if you're going to be doing transfers, fees may be part of the equation that you just have to factor into your numbers. But again, if you plan this thing out right, you're following the training that's on this channel, you're lining up your credit, you're getting your hands on one of these nice lines of credit that has balance transfer options. Also, you're getting your hands on a line of credit that has points or benefits or additional perks, miles, things like that you can get to where it makes sense and it's okay to eat some of those transfer fees because you're offsetting it with different perks and rewards, things like that. So, definitely, you want to play this game on a high level, make sure you do the due diligence, do the training, and start doing the strategy from a position of strength where you have all your ducks in a row versus just trying to get loosey-goosey and run and gun it. But either way, that's two ways that you can utilize your credit card for velocity banking without paying any cash advance fees or having the transaction treated as a cash advance where you're going to pay higher interest. So hopefully you guys found value in this training. If you did, give it a like, give it a comment below. I will see you guys in the next training.